The current WFI standoff that saw protests dominate the wrestling scenario for 6 months, it has now resulted in the culmination of Delhi police filing a charge sheet, and there are allegations and there are now reports that the fair probe, the so-called fair probe that the oversight committee conducted, is now under scrutiny. Now, the Delhi police charge sheet, in a report that has come out on the Times of India, there are some damning evidences and there are some damning allegations against Brij Bhushan Singh, because now there are reports of intimidation and breach of privacy, and it has also raised questions on the oversight committee and the way how they functioned, because now this report that the Delhi police charge sheet, one part of it, 1,600 pages of charge sheet has been filed by the Delhi police, it now raises a lot of questions. What are the nature of the allegations that have emerged against Brij Bhushan Singh? Well, in this video, I will tell you the nature of the allegations, some of the allegations that have been mentioned in the Delhi police charge sheet, and why now the oversight committee's role will now have to be questioned. So, when the witnesses were asked to give the statements and the testaments at a particular venue, at that time there were two serious allegations that emerged. One, Brij Bhushan Singh aides tried to intimidate female complainants when they deposed to the oversight committee. Now, how was that procedure done? Where was the intimidation? I will explain it to you in the next slide. Privacy breach allegations have also come to the fore, meaning this has now taken a much more sinister turn. Uncomfortable environment created. Now, when the environment is created which is very, very uncomfortable and hostile, naturally the witnesses will not give the statements that are needed. In addition to the intimidation factor outside the venue, as well as privacy breach, it now comes to the fore that whatever were the Delhi police charge sheet is, serious trouble is loading for Brij Bhushan Singh. Now, how did the intimidation and the privacy breach occur? There was a breach of privacy at JLN Stadium where the witnesses were asked to come and depose before the oversight committee. Aides of Brij Bhushan Singh roamed around the conference. They were there, they were constantly monitoring the witnesses, and that was where this hostility began. Intimidation. According to the laws, according to the rules, none of the aides of Brij Bhushan Singh should be anywhere near there, but they were still present. Why? And why was no action taken? The report has further stated that another member was present when statement was recorded, but that member was never formally introduced as to who he was. Now, this has raised privacy concerns as well. Because remember, one of the members who was there, if you don't know him, when you have to record a statement, how will the confidentiality factor remain? And with the aides of Brij Bhushan Singh already there in the premises and in the conference, how will privacy be maintained? Confidentiality be maintained? These are the serious allegations that have come up. The other shocker is Babita Phogat. Now remember, Babita Phogat was part of the oversight committee, but now in the Delhi police charge sheet that has been accessed by Times of India, it has emerged that Babita Phogat signed the final report in protest. Now, what was the protest and why did she have to sign it? And why did she have to initially protest in the first place? Because investigation was not carried in a fair and transparent manner, number one. And why no fair and transparent manner? Because no independent witnesses came to depose before the committee. Not just that, no physical evidence to corroborate the claims. So, whatever were the claims, no documentation was given, no other independent witnesses, no other witnesses to corroborate the evidences that they had given. Simple fact, when you conduct an investigation, whatever the victims state, whatever they allege, there has to be corroboration from a third individual who might have seen it and not known to the victim or any of the investigators. That corroboration was seriously missing. So, no independent witnesses, no physical evidence, basic rule of corroboration has been compromised in the oversight committee. So now this begs the question during this entire 6-month period, what was the role of the oversight committee? The oversight committee's findings and the reports were the main trigger point that started the second round of the protest between the wrestlers and the WFI. Now remember, Brij Bhushan Singh, if one has to believe in the Delhi police charge sheet, faces a trial under sections 354 and 354A. But apart from that, 506 and many other things, the trial will continue. Delhi police have asked for the cancellation of POCSO against him. So, whether all these things will happen is a big question mark. So now, 7th month, after the Jantar Mantar protests that began in January, we are now in the 7th month of it. Yes, the wrestlers are now trying to get back into the mat and trying to ensure that they participate in tournaments, but the administrative mess that has been there. Now, after that, now in August, potentially you will have a sentencing, you will have a hearing, because now the court is in vacation and they will only resume in August or so. So, August, you will get to see what Brij Bhushan Singh, what does he face, whether he faces any kind of charges in those sections. If this is true, then this particular investigation, it's a damning indictment of the government appointed oversight committee as well, because it is now safe to assume after the end of the court proceedings, whether they conducted it in a fair and legal way, that also will be questioned at this point. So, intimidation, lack of transparency, breach of privacy. These are the three things that Brij Bhushan Singh and his aides are facing at this point. More trouble for the now sidelined WFI chief is mounting. Thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this video. We'll be back with more updates on sports today. Tap that bell icon so you know when we go live, and don't forget we are on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram as well. Thank you.